It's time once again for Story Time with your host, Carl Childers.
I reckon y'all like to hear about that first Thanksgiving, what happened to Fur Piece back. I heard it told a good many ways, but I figure I might be able to come up with something or other to say about it. And the way I hear tell, a bunch of foreigners got a belly full of the way they's doing things over there in that foreign country they was living in. So a big family of them decided to come to America here. They's all kinfolk one way or another, seems to me. All had the last name, Pilgrim. Well, sir, these Pilgrim folks packed them a change of drawers and some potted meat. All of them piled onto some boats there. Some folks call them ships. I call them boats. They called them the Neener, the Pinner, and the Santa Claus. Them Pilgrims pretty much no count when it come to sailing and such. They so busy playing shuffleboard and fooling around, they wound up running and plumb into a big old rock on the shore there. They figured as long as they'd run up on dry land, they might as well give this place a shot. They weren't sure if this is America or not. They so dadgum happy to be off in the water, they's ready to bust. They weren't used to having so much room to live in, so they all runned off summers, exploring and laughing and carrying on. I reckon they's a bit noisy. All that nonsense didn't sit too well with the folks that's already living there. There's a whole bunch of Indians homesteading in them parts. Not the kind with a red polka dot in their heads. Other kind. The kind of live in tents, carry Tommy Hawks and whatnot. Seems they didn't like being called Indians much, I reckon. They wanted to be called Native Americans. Them Pilgrims said, all right then. It's a good thing them Native Americans is a friendly bunch. Them Pilgrims did a sorry job of taking care of themselves, and I didn't know nothing about farming. Didn't have no warm clothes, just them big hats with them shoes with a big belt buckle on them. They was pretty good at digging a hole with a stub. They couldn't cipher out how to fix up a shed to put over the top of it. They pretty much no-counted everything. Them old Native American feller schooled them on how to take care of things. Especially this one feller named Squanto. I reckon he had him some time off of working with the Lone Ranger. So he showed them Pilgrim there how to get along right good. Taught them how to hunt, catch a catfish, tote that wash down to the laundromat, sharpen that lawnmower blade with a big old rock. Even taught them how to use beads and shiny rocks to do some trading with that big squaw with a sore feet up at the dollar store. Them Native Americans liked the way them Pilgrims talked. Pilgrims liked the way them Native Americans talked. Well, sir, things went along pretty good for a spell. That Pilgrim family, well, sir, they thought they'd throw a big shindig for our new friends there. So they'd know they's grateful for all that help. Well, sir, they decided to rustle up some special sort of grub or another. Really put on the dog. Told Daddy Pilgrim, some of his boys there, they decided to go hunting. They so excited they couldn't sleep, so they got up early and had breakfast at the Waffle House there. And then off they went. They weren't at it too long before they run across this big old funny-looking bird. Not funny queer, funny ha-ha. Kinda looked like a big old dog with a feather duster stuck in his hind end. Well, sir, they got that funny-looking bird. Stuffed it with some stovetop stuffing. Trotted it out for that big old surprise supper. Well, Squanto had him a little girl there. Cute little thing. No bigger than a squirrel. She saw that bird all cooked up. She started to bawling her eyes out. She yelled, "What'd you kill my turkey for? What'd you kill my turkey for?" Turns out that old funny-looking bird there was a turkey. Squanto's little girl and that turkey, they made friends. Well, it didn't sit too well with them Native Americans. They just saw red. They was gonna kill them pilgrims, but they figured it's so close to Christmas, they just leave them there to fend for themselves. Some Native Americans, they run off down to Atlanta, starting them a baseball team. Them pilgrims did all right, I reckon. They begat, and pretty soon they's all over the place. So I reckon, except for that little girl, her dead turkey, it's a pretty happy ending all around. Moral of the story is, you're gonna eat some folks' pet bird, do it close to Christmas so they don't kill you. The end.
Storytime is brought to you by Hargrave's Potted Meat Product, chock full of peckers and lips since 1937.
You ever ate somebody's bird, old feller?